Good morning, wrestling fans, and welcome to another edition of Appalachian Mountain Wrestling Television. As we're in our third week of this quarantine, still got everybody's worlds up in an uproar and just flipped upside down and inside out, and everything's pretty much stopped unless you're an essential employee. So right now I'm in the office here at Appalachian Mountain Wrestling. John over in his office, we're the only two that's working. We felt like it'd be better on the employees just to go home, especially with us not being able to do any live events, or our wrestlers aren't being able to compete. We got the staff to bring out some stuff from the video archives that we're going to take a look at today, and we're just hoping everybody's staying safe and healthy there at home. But real quick, yesterday they had the final impeachment proceeding there at the courthouse in Hazard, Kentucky. I was asked to speak at these hearings. Let me go on record as saying I think the hearings are the biggest farce in the history of professional wrestling. John's done an excellent job as president. He's working on a bunch of big things for us for when we're able to come back and start our live events, and getting some brand new matches here for AMW television for you all to watch out there in TV land. So, like I said, I think it's the biggest farce. It got heated in there. I won't lie. Had me on the stand, it got a little heated between Scott Diamond and Stan Sierra and myself, as you can see.
Of making decisions on his own, thus he had to create an office for you so that the two of you could be in collusion and make decisions for the AMW.
Because he has other responsibilities that he has to take care of. Therefore, if he's not there, I step in.
Listen, Judge, I object to this man right now. I'm sick of it.
Well, I tell you what, once you come over here and let's inject some, how about I inject my foot right square up your ass? You want some of me?
Both of you will be in contempt. Order in the courtroom.
But I'm not going to show you that footage today. We're actually going to place that footage up on our Facebook page and on our Instagram page. So if you've not liked those accounts, head over to Facebook, Instagram, search on both of them, Appalachian Mountain Wrestling. Tonight we will post around 4 or 5 o'clock. We will post that so everybody can watch and see. Doc was still, his last thing he was able to do before he went home, was able to interview a few people down there. We're going to bring you those interviews today. We're going to also look at on the program John Noble's last match as the heavyweight champion. It's kind of started this long 2-year journey for him that culminated with him becoming the new president. Who thought that out of nowhere at War Games this past Thanksgiving? But it was a match at the Boneyard Beatdown against the Reformation's Michael Jameson. And for those that don't know, the Reformation was a group of B-list players that were secretly brought over by Scott Diamond to take out John Noble and myself. This is at a time when we didn't know Scott Diamond's true colors. So they were brought over to essentially be hired hitmen that could be disposed of because nobody cared about them. But it all culminated in a casket match at the Boneyard Beatdown. And let's go take a look.
Here we go, wrestling fans. Like I was telling you, it's the Boneyard Beatdown. It's the casket match between John Noble, Michael Jameson, with his manager A.J. Colley, part of the Reformation. Jameson looking to get an early advantage here on John. John Noble quick to counter. Couple big clotheslines, and Jameson running for his life. Folks, we'll be right back after this quick break.
Wrestling, a love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand, a brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. From counting the lights in your local armory to main eventing in Korakuen Hall in Tokyo, Japan. Collar and elbow, the wrestling brand.
And folks, we're back. John Noble bringing Michael Jamison in the hard way, got him in the corner. Remember, this is a casket match, so there's no pinfalls, there's no submissions, there's no disqualification. The only way to win is to beat your opponent senseless and then roll him into that coffin there at ringside. You see at the bottom of your screen as Michael Jamison counters his John Noble with a big knee lift. But you put your opponent in that casket and you close the lid. Now, Michael Jamison had brought out his manager, A.J. Colley, and during the break, John Noble disclosed that he had brought a manager of his own, Rex Frohnapple, you see in the bottom of your screen. Rex is going to close the lid whenever John rolls Michael Jamison in there, or attempt to close the lid. You hear the fans are really behind Noble. As you're watching this match now, you can see this match and a lot of other great matches with John Noble there with a big drop kick, but you see a lot of other great matches on the AMW Wrestling Network. That's AMWWrestlingNetwork.com. It's $4.99 a month. There's all of AMW's great programming is on there. Our television show, all of our big live events are up there every month. We've also got Ultimate Championship Wrestling and New South Championship Wrestling. Their joint television production of Sunday Morning Slam. Every weekly episode of Sunday Morning Slam is uploaded every week. Southern States Wrestling is on there. The old Nationwide Championship Wrestling is on there. Videos from Title Match Network, the High Spots Wrestling Network, School of Morton. We're loaded with content on there. Only $4.99 a month. But if you go sign up right now, you get a risk-free 7-day trial. That's right. If you don't like it, you can just unsubscribe within 7 days. But I promise there's so much to go through on there, you won't have time to know if you like everything or don't like everything. Man, it's a mouthful. Just talking about it gets me so excited. As Michael Jamison is clearly taking control of the match now with a big suplex on John. As you see Michael Jamison's so-called manager down there in the lower corner cheering him on. Crowd soundly behind Noble. Jamison with a big chop there in the corner. You all are watching this. This match has never been aired before. You're checking it out right here on AMW television. We're in the midst of this COVID-19 as John Noble whips Jamison around and delivers a chop of his own. You just see the anguish and the agony in Jamison's face. Noble may be, he may appear like a smaller wrestler, but make no mistake about it. Noble's in the gym. He's working out. He can lay in the chops. He can lay in the punches with the best of them. Some even say he rivals that of Cash Flow. Noble looking to break that arm as he slams it down against the mat. I've yet to see either one of the competitors here look to put the other one in the coffin. Remind you that the only way to win this match is to place your so-called opponent there in the casket and close the lid. Noble looked like he was going for a big splash there. Countered that and a big guillotine to Jamison as Noble looks to climb up top. He's going up. What's he looking to do here? John Noble, not known as a big risk taker off the top. So what he's got here. And a huge drop kick off the top rope, taking Jamison down. Both men just down. Noble back up to his feet first. Like I said, when the program first aired, The Reformation were hired as Noble's finally looking to put Jamison into the casket. This is the first attempt by either of the opponents to place the other in the casket. But the Reformation was hired by Scott Diamond, and we did not know this. They were hired by Scott Diamond to take out John Noble and myself. It was a distraction. We're only assuming it was a distraction to while he was doing that. He was taking some B-listers, some C-listers, trying to make them into something that they obviously wouldn't, something that was able to take out, people that were able to take out John Noble and myself. While he was doing that with them, he was over here, off rebuilding the Diamond Cartel. As Jamison back in control. So that's where experience gets you. Jamison's too worried about talking to the cameraman. But Noble with the big Russian leg sweep. The big Russian leg sweep off the second rope. If anybody knows, if anybody watches John Noble, if you watch him over and over again, 9 times out of 10, he hits you with that Russian leg sweep, it's over. He puts people away with that left and right, and not only did he hit it off the second rope. Now he's calling to referee Chris Allen to open that casket. He's going to roll Michael Jamison in it and get the win here. Remember, we are looking back at this match. This is Noble's last match as the heavyweight champion before all the Scott Diamond shenanigans really kicked into high gear. Wrestling fans, now the very best wrestling action in the Southeast is at your fingertips. That's right, the Appalachian Mountain Wrestling Network is live and online. See the very best wrestlers today competing in traditional, hard-hitting action straight into your living room. See legends of the ring like the Rock and Roll Express, Boogie Woogie Man Jimmy Valiant, Al Snow, Scott Hall, AJ Styles, and many more.
Over 125 hours.
For only $4.99 a month. Yes, it's $4.99 a month. But wait, if you sign up right now, you get a week absolutely free. See the very best from the Southeast and from other promotions all around the world. Go to www.amwwrestlingnetwork.com today. Get your free trial and help make wrestling great again. Jamison calling for the casket to be open as he's looking to roll Noble in there and capture the AMW Heavyweight Championship. Remember, the Heavyweight Championship is on the line in this match. As Stunner clearly took a lot out of Noble. Noble can't stand, but he's just got enough in him to hold on. Jamison with shots to the head to rattle him. Like I said, you can see the full Boneyard beatdown. It'll be placed up on the network in the coming weeks. During the COVID-19 outbreak, we're looking at bringing you all these great matches from all these great events that have recently been in our vault that we're opening up to all the fans. Noble setting him up for another Russian leg sweep. Jamison blocks, shuck Noble off. Noble ducking a clothesline. Huge power slam. Noble going for a cover, but that's not going to do you any good, John, not in this type of matchup. You got to place him into the casket, John. Jamison fighting out, trying to fight his way back. Noble clearly in control. Hooked him here. Oh, big DDT. Big DDT to Michael Jamison. That's got to be it. Had him clean through the ropes and just drove his head right back into the mat as John Noble looks to ascend back up to the top. Back up to the top. What's he got this time? Here comes Michael Jamison. Oh. Was able to knock Noble's leg out. knocking him off balance. Jamison going for what looks like to be a superplex. Oh, that had to hurt. Both men down. Everybody laying it on the line here. Would have to say it's impressive the fact that Michael Jamison can keep up with John Noble. This is probably the biggest match he's ever been in his career. But he's kind of hung in here with Noble. But you know, heck, a broke clock's twice right twice a day, as they say. So looks like he's putting something on his boot there, some type of a weapon to load up his boot. Michael Jamison, like I told you, is a mark for that super kick. So he's looking to wind up, tune up that band, and try to take out John Noble, who's blocked the super kick. Gut shot to Jamison. Both men back and forth right here. Jamison's hooked him for a DDT. Noble was trying to get that weapon that Jamison used to load up his boot. Jamison able to counter with a DDT as he's loading that boot back up, looking for that super kick. And he hits the super kick. A loaded boot, super kick, that's got to be all to John Noble right here. That's got to be all. Right now, if Jamison's smart, he asks for the casket to be open so he can get John Noble in there. But instead, he's calling for one more. Like I said, that's the experience factor. Instead of calling for the casket, you've got John Noble down. You're wanting to try to put an exclamation point on it. This is the biggest match Michael Jamison's ever been in his life, and just not having that big match experience right there is costing Michael Jamison. John Noble able to block it, and a huge punch with whatever weapon that was Michael Jamison used to load up his boot. Noble just on top. If you knew what John had been through over the course of these last couple months with the Reformation, coming in, attacking him, Noble going up top for a third time in this match. Coming off here. What's he got? Oh, Jamison moved. Noble coming off of that big rolling cannonball, and Jamison able to move out of the way, leaving both men down. What's this here? A.J. Colley appears to have a chair. He's sliding it in to Michael Jamison. He slid the chair into Michael Jamison. Jamison got Noble now. He's calling for some move he's seen on TV before. Looking for maybe a pedigree. Noble with a big, huge counter with a backdrop right there. Jamison down. Like I said, anything goes, so he could have dropped Noble on his head on top of that chair. It's completely legal as Noble goes for the chair himself. Got the casket open. Noble looking to pick Jamison up here. Hopefully Noble knows to put Jamison in that casket. Noble going to drop Jamison on his head in that chair, and A.J. Colley in the ring. Just hitting Noble, but taking a hit from A.J. Colley is like getting buzzed on by a gnat. You know, it's not really going to do any damage to you, but it's just flat out annoying. Jamison behind Noble. He's got the chair. John better turn around, and a huge shot right to the temple. Jamison saying that's it. He's won the belt. Remember, you can't win until you get your opponent into that casket. Jamison rolling Noble toward the casket. AJ trying to help him. Remember, AJ's interference, it doesn't matter in this. There's no disqualification. He trying to close the lid on John. Thrown apple there. John's corner man trying to stop him. Noble saying, not today. is able to climb up from that casket. AJ Colley just taunting Noble. Noble, who's had enough, just grabbed AJ and just decked him. He's grabbed AJ Colley. He's decked him. And he stepped on AJ's glasses for good measures. Michael Jameson arguing with the referee that he got John Noble in the casket. He did get him in the casket. However, he did not close the lid on him. You have to close the lid all the way. As Noble comes back into the ring, Jameson is able to cut him off and take control of the match still. Remember, this full match and more can be seen on the AMW Wrestling Network. It's AMWWrestlingNetwork.com. $4.99 a month. $4.99 a month. That's cheaper than any type of value meal you can get out there. It's about a cost of a bottle of hand sanitizer at the moment. Jameson going back with the chair. Noble moves, and Jameson hits himself in the face. Noble with the leg sweep. That's got to be it. He's calling for it to be opened. Rolling Jameson in there into the casket, closing the lid. That's it, folks. That's it, folks. Noble able to pick up the win.
Are you a member of a church group? Are you a member of a sports team, local school, volunteer fire department, or any other nonprofit? Partner with Appalachian Mountain Wrestling for a fundraiser to bring money to your organization. Have some fun, a night of professional wrestling, fun for the entire family, earn some money. Partner with Appalachian Mountain Wrestling and help make wrestling great.
Welcome back, folks. As you've seen, Jameson's manager at the time, AJ Colley, after John Noble struck him in this match, that's when he filed an EPO against John Noble. And by he, we mean Scott Diamond, the man at the top pulling the strings, the puppet master, as we come to find out. And at this point, John was not able to compete at the live events. And you know, not being able to compete and defend that title every 30 days was Scott Diamond's way of taking the championship from John Noble without having him pinned or submitted. Now, while Scott Diamond was pulling the strings, he was taking these B-list wrestlers of the Reformation and using them as a distraction. Just keep in mind, the Reformation, when I say B-list, they've never wrestled outside of their mommy's backyard, so nobody had seen them, nobody knew them. So it was something new to the fans that for them to look over here, while over here, Scott Diamond was busy rebuilding his infamous Diamond Cartel. And that's led us to what you've seen last week at the Bobcat Brawl, where he finally put the final pieces of his puzzle together and was able, to stop John Noble from reclaiming that heavyweight championship after he stopped John Noble from being able to become a licensed wrestler in the state of Kentucky for 6 or 7 months last year. Now, this has been a whole process, and while we're on this whole COVID-19 break, we're going to catch you up to date on all that stuff. So next week we'll dive into more of that stuff, plus have a few more matches from the vault, from our live events that nobody has ever seen, never been televised before. We'll have a match or two for you from that. And right now, let's head on. Like I said, Doc was able to get a few interviews. One was with me, and I could sit here and paraphrase what I said, but I feel like we lose the weight of the whole thing if I don't let you see my interview from yesterday. So we're going to take a look at that. He was able to catch up with Perry County Judge Scott Alexander, who was overseeing the hearings. And let's take a look at that real quick.
Hey, wrestling fans, Doc here. I just found out that Kyle Mager just testified in the impeachment hearings, and it got pretty heated in there. We're waiting on Kyle to come out right now. He's presently in the courtroom, but I don't know for how long because he's kind of upset. Kyle, can we get a word?
This is the biggest bunch of bull I've ever been a part of in my life, Doc. The biggest farce, the biggest bunch of crap. Scott Diamond, Stan Sierra, they need to be locked away upstairs. I mean, I'm at a loss for words. I'm tore up. I'm ready to whip somebody's ass, okay? All right? So whoever's recording this can just censor that out, because I'm going to whip somebody's ass. This is just bull.
I understand, Kyle.
And they dragged me down here, and they're trying to make me and John Noble out to look like the bad guys. For years, Scott Diamond was sticking it to everybody in the locker room that wasn't a part of the Diamond Cartel. There was a reason Stan Sierra was a champion for so long, okay? Scott Diamond was like the Don King, okay?
Yeah, he was. I agree. We just got to handle it legally.
Well, hopefully today this was the last day of the hearings. This is, I don't know if this is going on anymore. I don't know what happened last week, but hopefully we're done. Hopefully this is all over. The judge here in Perry County, Judge Alexander's on the up and up. He knows who's doing the best job there is. He's down at the Miller Family Fun Center down there every month. Yeah, he knows. So hopefully this will all be taken care of very shortly.
Well, there you have, folks, from Kyle Maggard. We'll see how this goes. I have faith in the legal system. Hey, wrestling fans, Doc here, and the last day of the impeachment proceedings are now in its final moments, and I'm just here with Scott Diamond, and I just want to hear your take on everything.
Well, Doc, over these last 2 weeks. What are you doing? Here, look, come here. Just take that. You're good. Are we still on for late dinner? I'll get a lighter. Late dinner? Yeah. Anybody do anything for a autograph? That's the guy. Is it there? Yeah, I gave it to him.
What's going on, guys?
What's going on? Let me tell you what's going on. Impeachment proceedings against John Noble. And Doc, I think myself and my colleague Stan Sierra, we took the legal book and we threw it right at him. And with all the evidence that we had some great witnesses in there. Kyle Maggard even testified against John Noble. We've got it all wrapped up as far as I'm concerned. The judge and the committee is looking at it now. Possibly we could get a ruling for them. If not, the only other alternative is to take it to the state capitol, to the Supreme Court, which I think that if need be, we'll do that because, again, the evidence, well, let me tell you, the evidence will prove that John Noble should be impeached, and I know without a doubt that it is just a matter of time before Stan Sierra and Scott Diamond take over Appalachian Mountain Wrestling TV, just as we did in the past.
Well, those are some final words there from former President Scott Diamond, and thank you guys.
Future President. Future.
There you had it. Hey, wrestling fans, Doc here, and I'm outside the judge's chamber. They're in there debating the impeachment hearings for John Noble, and we're trying to get a word in. Judge Alexander, any thoughts about the John Noble impeachment hearings?
Well, I've known John Noble my whole life. This is a hard situation for me to be in. I've really enjoyed the wrestling, and it's just really put me in a hard spot with this.
I can imagine.
With the evidence that was presented and the case that was presented, for those that you've seen that, it looks like that, this thing could be heading in one direction. And, hopefully here in a couple of weeks, we'll have a ruling. I could see this heading to the Supreme Court of Kentucky for the final decision. This is such a big deal here for the future of AMW wrestling that we need to get it right.
Well, that's true. I appreciate your time, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you. There you had it.
There you have it, folks. Judge Alexander's talking about how, this is so big. He wants to get it right. We need to go to Frankfurt. That may be the next step in what Scott Diamond tries to do to get rid of John Noble. Who knows with that guy? As you see in the local sports ad, what's that about? But hopefully in the upcoming weeks we'll be able to have our teams out catching up with anything that's going on in this, during this time of pandemic with John Noble and any other wrestlers. Real quick before we go, I'm going to let you take a listen from two of wrestling's legendary figures as they talk about the John Noble impeachment hearings. They were so upset by everything going on that they called our office and said, hey, we want to talk about it. Send a camera crew out here. We need to talk about this. So, as I let you go, here are some words from AMW Hall of Famer, wrestling legend extraordinaire, Tracy Smothers, the wild-eyed Southern boy, and infamous wrestling referee, legend, Hall of Famer in his own right, head AEW official, Earl Hebner. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
Hey, this is Tracy Smothers, the wild-eyed Southern boy, and I got some news tonight that I heard through the grapevine, and I heard this thing about John Noble, who I've known a long time, great wrestler and a great basketball coach, a good man, good father, good husband, good fella. Fair and square, they beat the Diamond Cartel, headed by, of course, Scott Diamond, you know, things like that, and beat them fair and square. But what's he trying to do, just like the Democrats try to do the Republicans, and what like they try to do with President Trump? They're trying to impeach John Noble. Well, good luck in East Kentucky. Good luck in the Appalachian Mountain Wrestling doing that, because John Noble is about God there. I tell you that. He's a good guy, great wrestler, one of the most underrated wrestlers I've ever been in the ring. That's a war. There's going to be a lot going on with that. But you know what? John Noble is rough, tough, hard to bluff. He's guaranteed not to bust, collect dust, been breaking quitter. I love you, John Noble. You take it to that cartel. Ain't going to be no impeachment.
I've been around the road here lately, and I've been hearing some rumors around the AMW about Mr. Noble is doing a great job, and Mr. Diamond, it sounds like you got a sour apple in your basket or something. Maybe you've been hanging around Nancy Pelosi too long. Man, you better shape up and look to the left instead of looking to the right. But hey, buddy, Mr. Noble is great, and like I said, Mr. Diamond, you're out of place, buddy.
Word.